Hey everybody, this is Melina from scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram, over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. And today I am using up an old fall kit that I had in my stash for years and years and years. And I used a lot of this with some scrapbooking that I had done, and now I want to use what is left in journals. I'm making up some fall journals, and I want to add some of these to that. This is my weekly Scrap Buster, so if you've got a little bit of a kit left over or some larger scraps, go ahead and craft along with me. We're going to make some easy ephemera sets from leftover kit supplies, or any kind of 12 by 12 collections that you have in your stash. I know that y'all have lots of those, and that's what I started out with as far as when I was crafting and stuff. I had 12 by 12 kits, and I still love 12 by 12 kits, but a lot of the times most of it is used in my journals instead of on scrapbook pages, and that's okay. So we're going to make a few different kinds of ephemera that we can add to our journals. And you'll need some type of little idea journal off to the side so that you can kind of size this ephemera stuff up. I've already done a couple of just regular old little pockets, bottom pockets that would be put on a page. So just like that. And I put the notch wherever I wanted to put it. It doesn't have to be in the middle. And then, so now all this needs is some inking, and it's ready to be glued on 3 sides and used as a pocket. Same with this one, and this was just some cut apart pieces in that little kit, and I put the notch in the middle on that one. I have not been in my craft room a lot lately just because, you know, a lot of people do spring cleaning. I do fall cleaning, and we have cleaned out stuff. We've cleaned out the garage. I have cleaned off little side tables that get all of the catch-all stuff. You know, those tables. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. Let's see. The laundry room has had a little bit of a clean out. Under beds has had a little bit of a clean out. And we have just been going at it as far as getting stuff cleaned out and thrown out if it's junk, or donated if we haven't used it in a long while. Some of this stuff is going to be made into pockets. I'm going to make some regular pockets just like those. Some of it's going to be made into library pockets. Some of it's going to be made into, secretarial pocket. I want to try to make some secretarial pockets, and that's just a slanted pocket. That's what I call them. I want to try to make some secretarial pockets with a gusset, so that way you can get a little more stuff in there. Some of this stuff might be just fussy cut, so we can use the little icons. Like these little acorns are so pretty. Do you say acorn or acorn? Love those. This is from the Simple Stories. I think it's called I Love Fall was the name of the collection. I love those little acorns. And I think that might be all that I'll save off of that. So let's do a straight across, maybe, hopefully. Anyways, I was saying I haven't been in my craft room in a little while, just because of all the cleanup. The biggest cleanup came from a man who we hired. We have about an acre and a half of property, and our house sits on about, I would say that half acre. And the other acre is in the back, and it is full of woods. I mean, just like overflowing trees everywhere. So we decided we needed to get at least the brush cleaned out from back there. And I'll try to remember to give y'all some before and after pictures up here. It was crazy overgrown. So I am super pumped about how it looks. We have a whole nature trail back there now. It's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. And it's going to look even prettier this fall when all the leaves start turning and changing and falling, even though we do have mostly a pine thicket back there, but you know, some of them are hardwoods back there, and we're going to get some very, very pretty leaf changing back there. All right, this particular piece I'm going to leave as is. I'm just going to cut off this little bitty bit. I think maybe I will turn it up and make it a little bit, whoop, I'm not even on the screen so you can see where I'm turning it up. Just letting this fit. I'm going to make this a little belly band, and I'm just turning that up so I can get a little bit of a tuck space if I want it later. That's cute. Let's do a little bit of glue on either side. If I can get my glue to come out of my sugar bells, they are mad at me for the neglect. I'm just saying. That one had a lot of neglect, and it doesn't have that much glue in it, so I'm wondering if I'm even going to get anything out of this one. But anyway, I'm going to glue just on the two sides, and if I can see to poke that down in there. There we go. Just to give myself a tiny little tuck space on the bottom of this belly band. Say very, very, very easy whenever you have scrapbook paper left over. That's what I turn to mostly, is scrapbook paper to make ephemera sets. If you hear a lawnmower in the background, one of the neighbors has decided right now that it would be a great time to mow. Even though it's midday and it's the hottest of the day. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not my business. But just letting you know, if you hear it, that's what it is. So there would be just a belly band, and we could put something fallish in the middle later if we wanted to. And then we have this little bitty tuck space at the bottom that we could actually put a really tall tag in if we wanted to. Let's see, what else has been going on? I finished a, I think so. I finished, a blanket, a crochet blanket. If anybody does not know, I do know how to crochet. My grandmother, my dad's mom, taught me that years and years ago, and I love doing it when I have the time and when it is not so hot, because who wants a big old blanket or whatever on top of you when it is hot as blue blazes. So I usually don't do it during the summertime. Just finished one for the foot of our bed. It's going to be just like a folded at the foot of the bed. I'll try to remember to leave you pictures of that too. I shared it on Facebook, but everybody's not my Facebook friend, so I'll share it this way. I think I shall do it like this. I'm going to make a little booklet out of this one. Okay, so all I'm going to do is find a little piece from my scrap pile. And I do believe that this is 4 inches tall. Yep. I'm going to cut this 4 inches. And then need to cut it down some. I don't need that much. Let's do 1 1/4 inches here. And then I'm going to score it. And I'm just going to go here, close to middle. Put my scoreboard down, fold this over. And if we were to want to ink the sides of it, we can. Oh, that's cute. And I like it just like that, so we can make it a little booklet. Let's go ahead and ink this. So this was just some craft paper that I had in my stash. And my little scrap bowl. It's actually cardstock. I think I said paper. And then I can ink this later. Go ahead and try to get me some glue out. So we're just making ourselves a little spine for this nifty little thing. Like a little notebook. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Very easily comes together. And we can add pockets in here if we want to, or we can do just some scrap papers and make it a little booklet. I like that idea. And then we can just sew the little booklet in, because, I mean, we're not going to put that many things in there. I will finish that in a moment. There's another piece. So we got pockets, we got a belly band, we got a little notepad. These little cut-aparts are just great for, oh, look how cute that is. Great for pockets, just to make pockets out of. But I do want to make, oh yeah, let's do this one. I do want to make a secretarial pocket with a gusset. So this one is not cut quite like it should, so let's trim off that little bitty bit. And then I'm going to go corner to corner. Like that. And this could be the little secretarial pocket. Like that. Cute. Love that. I think my camera has been moved some, because usually just right here in front of me you could see that. So let me adjust my camera. Yay, there you go. That way I don't have to push it so far forward for you to see. Alright, now I need to put Gusset on the back, so it's not so flat on here and we can get more than just a couple of sheets of something in there. So we can use some more of that scrap that I had, that I used on there. And let's go with, I'm going to mark this, and we can make it as wide as we want to, and up here, whenever we get the gusset made, we can chop off what we don't need. So that's how tall I need that one. Let's just do this and a little 1-inch gusset, and then same on the bottom. I need to cut it here. I had someone ask me not too long ago in a comment, what is a gusset? And I thought, oh my goodness, I have failed y'all so badly. If you don't know what a gusset is, because, I mean, I'm all the time making a gusset. I'm so sorry. So a gusset is what I'm showing you here. So kind of like that spine I just made on that. But here, we're going to use it on the back side of our piece. And it gives you a little bit of expansion. That's what I'm making. Expansion gussets. Okay. So put that down and that back. And I'm folding this over. And it just gives you the freedom of putting a little extra into your pockets if you want to. And I do. I want to a lot. I want to put more than just one little tag or one little journal card in them. Okay? So, I'm going to get this. I'm going to go ahead and ink it. So I'll have that done. All the way around. And then I'm going to figure out which way I need these, and I will need the open end or the bottom of the tent. So there's your tent. So you need the bottom of your tent facing inward like this. Okay, so we're going to put this first one on, and then we're going to put this one on. We'll clip it down some. So I'm just going to put a little line like that. Line this up. And remember, we're going to cut off that extra there in just a second. Okay, once you've got that lined up, then you can come here to line up this one, and you don't even need to cut that off yet. Just put your glue, and then lay this gusset down and line it up on the bottom. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to get your sticky scissors. If you have some of those, I highly recommend getting just one pair of scissors that you own and designating them as your sticky scissors. They are the only scissors that touch things that might have adhesive or something ooey gooey on them. Okay, so now you've got this secretarial pocket, this side pocket like this, little tuck space that you can put all kinds of little goodies down into. And all you're going to do when you glue this down is you're going to glue it on this back gusset and this gusset, and that's going to expand that pocket out so that you have more space. See, when you do a gusset, we're not going to adhere this in yet. When you do a gusset, you got a lot more space, see, to put things in. So you could put, you know, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 little journal cards, lots of little tags. You could put in a little notepad if you wanted to, in a pocket that you have a gusset on the back of. That's why I love gussets, and that's what a gusset is. It's just an expander for your pocket. So there is a secretarial pocket with a handmade gusset, and the neighbors are really close with that lawnmower now. My craft room is on the side of our house, so the furthest side, it's not in the middle of the house, so I am very, very close to the property line on this one side. Okay, I want to make, I love this strappity-dappity plaid paper, and I printed out Mom's digital that she had offered a couple of weeks back as a freebie on our blog, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. But they are library cards, and I printed them on the premium copy paper, and then I lined them with some other paper, and they're still a little bit wet, and you can still see a little bit of the goopy through it, but I'm good with that. I don't care. Alright, and I think, yes, I will be able to get one of these in that width. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these out, and we are going to make a library pocket with this plaid paper. A lot of the stuff I'm making today has gussets. Library pockets have gussets on them. Traditional ones anyway. And I've made a couple of library pocket videos. They're very easy to make. One of my, I mean, probably the favorite of mine, favoritist pockets ever is a library pocket. Alright, so now I've got a nice sturdy library card, and I'm going to ink it up. That is vintage photo. I'm going to ink it up with some vintage photo, front side and back side. So who has all of their fall stuff out? I do. I'll try to get y'all some pictures in the next few videos of my home decorations for fall. I love decorating for fall. I love decorating for Christmas too, but I dare say that I decorate more for fall than I do even for Christmas. It's a little crazy, but I just love autumn. Even though here in Alabama it's still 85 degrees. We're just waiting for that first day where the high does not go over 80 and it's going to officially be fall weather here. But of course, then we get, oh, just teasing, the next week it might be, 85 degrees again. So we have to go through a few different introductions to fall before it is actually fall. And anybody that says, oh, September 22nd is actually the first day of fall, nah, I'm not listening to you. Because when September comes around and the fall season comes around, it's like it goes by so fast, and then everybody's already talking about, let's do Christmas and winter themed stuff, and I'm like, no, I want fall to last longer. So I shall decorate for fall as much as I want to. Alright, so I'm not going to need all of this. I don't need that big of a pocket. So I think what I want to do is fold it up like this, just that high. And then I can lop off some of this because I want my library card to be maybe just a touch taller than this. You can make the back side of your library card whatever you would like, however tall you would like. I think I'm just going to cut mine down a little bit more and let the library, oh, well, no, I don't know. I like it like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so traditional library pockets have a little gusset, and this hangs out, and then this folds back behind. But this one's going to be a simple dimple little library pocket because I don't have enough on the sides to make a gusset, and this is not cut straight, so I'm going to go in here and give myself even less room. Ooh, need a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just going to glue these edges down, and that'll be my library pocket. I can use one of these smaller ones, and I'll show you how I do a traditional library pocket. This one is not traditional. This one I'm just going to glue down, but I am going to round these corners like so, and I am going to go ahead and ink this pocket. I'm not going to put a notch in this one just because I don't want to. If you like the notch, go ahead and get your circle punch and make yourself a notch. And I'll go ahead and glue, ink the top. The lawnmower sound has me flustered. Sorry. Oh, wait. Okay, just a little bit of glue. Make sure you don't get it too far out. Another reason why I like using 1/8 inch score tape, because you got more control over that. But for the sake of time, we'll just do this. See, now if I would have cut any of that down, I wouldn't have had any room to put that beautiful library card in that cute as a button little library pocket. And I think I surely do. I have the sticker sheet, and I have these little puffy stickers that kind of go along with this. And I do believe I'm going to put this cute little squirrel puffy sticker on here. I mean, that's like the cutest ever. Okay, let's do a traditional library pocket with one of these smaller ones. Let's go with, let's get it through the trimmer first. Of course, my papers didn't line up, and that's why I've got a little problems. Okay, I'm going to go with this brown one up top, and just thought this might go a little faster if I do it with a trimmer instead of just me cutting it by hand. We shall see, because I'm probably still going to have to cut off some stuffs. But Mama's been doing so good with her digitals lately, y'all. I mean, she's just coming up with all kinds of stuff. When she gets done with supper at night, and she turns on some show that she's watched 11 times, and she gets to town, I mean, working on these digitals just for y'all. I think she really likes doing it. It's something that keeps her mind off of other things, and so I'm really happy that she has found this little niche that is working for her and she enjoys doing. Especially, it doesn't take a lot of manual labor for her, of course, so it's all done on her computer or laptop while she's sitting and relaxing at night. Okay, so here's a tiny one, and we can use, I've got a lot of this. Ooh, I could use this. Now, that daisy paper, I don't know why they even put that in with this, because I don't think, when I think of fall, I don't think of daisies. I just don't. I don't really know why they did that. So I think I'm going to use that as my background, and I'm going to fold up the daisies, and then I can cover that up. Yes, I'm going to do that. So this little library pocket, or library card, is just a tad bit over 2.5. So I need a 1/4 inch for a gusset and a 1/4 inch for a gusset. So I need a 1/2 inch for gussets, and then the pocket itself, the card itself, is 2.5. So I need 3, and I'm going to go 3 1/4, just so I have enough room in this one. Okay, I'm going to figure out, yep, that's my top, I think. And if I put my library pocket in there, I can go up to, say, there with it. Library card in that. Library card, library pocket. And then I also have library knots, remember? On tops of my tags, I have library knots. Okay, I'm going to use my little circle punch, and I'm going to give myself, no, what I'm going to do first is get out my scoring tool. I'm going to get a little finer of a score. There we go. And I'm going to go 1/4 inch. All the way down. And then I'm going to flip it over and go 1/4 inch. Whoop. Get out of the way, pinky finger. All the way down. Okay. And then, so here's my fold up. I'm going to cut off right at the score line that I just made. I'm going to cut that off just to my little fold, my little pocket fold. And I'm having to get real close to this so I can see it because it is some light paper. So there's one side, and you know, you just kind of hope that you get it as straight as possible when you're making a traditional library pocket. Okay, and then there's the fold. I'm going to go at an angle up to where I trimmed that off. Angle up to where I trimmed that off. Okay, so then your little pocket here has got this cute little gusset that we have made all by ourselves. Aren't we proud of ourselves? And then I'm going to get this. This was just so that I could get this little notch as close to middle as possible. And then when you fold it up, you might have a little bit of hangover. All you're going to do is come back, because you know that's human error, because we're cutting that ourselves. Little hangover, but we've got that taken care of. And now you look at your library card and you go, oh, please, please fit in here. And it's going to, because you're going to have those little gussets. Now, you can either wrap your gussets around and glue them on the back. Now, when I was in a library aide in high school, that's how all of those were made. I, however, am going to glue my gussets on the front, like on the front of this here. So I'm just going to put some glue on my little gusset and glue on my little gusset. And then, hopefully, yep, I'm going to get those gussets folded in. And now, see, it's got that little pillow, that little expansion look there. Too cute. And I think a little sticker or die cut or something needs to go on the front of here, because like I said, daisies just don't remind me of fall at all. So, let's see, is that, yep, I thought that Hello Fall would work, excuse me, but it does not. But this one will, this little tabby thing. Of course, no, I'm not going to cover up the whole entire daisy pocket. My throat is gurgling. I'm not burping, y'all. I'm just letting you know, I'm not burping. We call that a throat gurgle around here. Aaron even knows that expression, and he will look at us if we hear him do it, and we hear it, we'll look at him and go, oh. And he'll say, it was not a burp, Mama. It was a throat gurgle. Well, that's what my throat's doing right now, for whatever reason. And I left these corners straight. I did not round them like the other. Cute. Put my little library card down in there, and see, whatever card tag, whatever you put in, is going to go in between those two gussets. So it gets to go the entirety of the pocket. There is no missed real estate. See, like this one, yours does not go all the way to the edge because you've got glue here. You didn't have gussets. It's glued directly back to this back part. So you've lost some of your pocket space. But when you make a library pocket, oh, and now I can't even get that back down in there straight. When you make a library pocket with the gusset, you have real estate all the way across. Nothing's lost. Look at that. Cute. I love making library pockets. Like I said, some of my favorite things. Okay, this little piece here is just screaming to become a tag. So easy peasy. I'm going to cut those off. And then, let's see, we're going to ink it. And then the back has a light enough pattern that it can just be written on. You don't even have to cover it up with anything if you don't want to. That is very, very cute. Doesn't need anything else because it is pattern paper and it is gorgeous as is. I'm just going to put a little hole at the top and get me some yarn and make a library knot. So loose ends and then your looped end, tighten it up, and you've got a nice little topper for a tag. And you could dress it up any way you wanted to, but you know, easy little tag or bookmark there. Nice ephemera set. So we've got tags, we've got signature, oh gracious, secretarial pocket, so a slanted pocket with gussets. We've got some traditional little pockets. Now if you wanted to make these so you could use the entirety of the real estate on these, then you would make 3 gussets, so 2 gussets on the side and a gusset on the bottom. But I'm good with these kind of pockets, the plain ones, just going down into onto my pages. Then we've got library pockets. So we've got a little belly band, and Lila is in there barking her head off for whatever reason. I'm going to get my idea journal out. So little library pocket, even like on that. How cute is that? Too darling. You could put that on a page like that and just glue it down on 2 sides and then have it as a little side tuck if you wanted to. I love little library pockets to add to journals. They're too stinking cute. Love them. And then of course tags to go down into your pockets, whatever pocket you make. Y'all know how a tag works. I don't need to show you that one. Let's see if there's anything else that I would want to show you. We've done belly bands, I've got a list up here. We've done traditional pockets, we've done tags, secretarial pocket with gussets, library pockets with gussets, journal cards. We haven't done a journal card. So, some of the 12 by 12 collections have these cards in them. And if you're not going to use them in that easy peasy memory keeping that's got the little pockets in it, then you could make them into journal cards. And so this one I thought that would be so cute. Of course, the back side is very cute too. But that is the drawback of double-sided paper. You just have to pick and choose which one is your favorite. Let's see here. Be happy, be loving, be thankful, be giving, be grateful. Eat, drink, and be cozy. See, I love it, but I'm going to use this side. And then I would just put some cardstock on the back. Now, a lot of people just use paper. I'm going to go with cardstock here. And I do believe we are almost perfect with this. We are. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto my craft cardstock, and then that will be my journaling space. Buy a beautiful little heart cup. I knew you so little of time. Then lay it down here. Alright, so when is, in your neck of the woods, when is like the last time that you have to mow your yard? Since we're listening to somebody mow the yard in the background, when is the last time that you have to do that? Around here, it's usually about, I would say, the 2nd week in October. Everything is pretty much turning brown and not growing anymore. or it is so dry because we've not had enough rain that it doesn't matter. We just, you know, we let it go because it's all dried up anyway. That is what it is around here. What is it around where you live? I would love to know as far as people in other countries, Australia and things like that. When is your, I mean, I know when this is, but I want them to explain it. When is your fall season where you live, and how often do you have to mow once you get into, you know, the ending of your summer season? Because around here we start in, I mean, really March probably, and then we're mowing up until, like I said, second week in October, which my guys do that. Thank the good Lord above, because I usually every year I have horrible allergies. This year they have not been they were not bad during the spring and summer. Fall, I have noticed I have been a little more congested, and, you know, a little bit more of a stuffy runny nose, but, you know, I'm very, very used to that. I got my allergies from my daddy. He was always sneezing and stuff during spring, and usually spring and fall was his little times. I'm going to put this on the back here. This little piece of lace that got left over from somewhere, and then put this little sticker on here too. But I'm going to use some fabric glue so it'll actually stay. It was not wanting to stay at all with that other that I put on there. And then I'll just put a little dollop of fabric glue on the back of this sticker too, just to make sure that it stays stickered. Just a little cocoa cup, or it could be a pumpkin latte. How about that? And then let's ink the back side too. After I knock everything over on my desk. And see, with the craft cardstock on the back, you've got plenty of journal space. And then this could go in one of those traditional pockets that you've made. So you've got a lot of color coordinated stuff. So if you put this into your journal, then you could pop that down into your pocket and have a little journal square. That's a little 4x4, it looks like. But I love using up kits like this. This little booklet, we need to, I didn't even have this on my list, and I'm glad that I thought of it. I do believe I will do that one more time with these. And let's round those corners and get us some papers to go in here in just a minute. So all of the corners rounded. I guess I don't have to round the back side. And then a 4" by 1 1/4 inch piece for my spine. So 4 inches, and then 1 1/4 inches, and then we are going to score that. Whoop. Approximately down the middle. And make ourselves a little spine for this little book. And let's see. I really like that, Nuts About You. That's cute. Yep, let's use that. I'm all about that plaid. It's a very good collection, Simple Stories. I've already thrown the info page on this away, so I don't know who the designer was. But I know some of their newer stuff is designed by Tracy Reed, and she and I used to be on a couple of design teams together. She is a very talented lady. And I saw her, I guess it was this time last year probably. She was in a craft store and walked by the Simple Stories display, and it was like an end cap, and her design was on there, and she was like, I still can't, this never gets old. I can't get over this. Walking in a craft store and my designs being displayed on the shelves. That is a cool, I'm sure that's a cool feeling. I have someone else that I know through design teams that is getting ready to, well, I didn't even look at that. We almost covered up all of love. Oh well, we didn't though. That is getting ready to sell a few designs, and hers will be in stores too. That's just like the ultimate nod, I think. It's like, you did good. We want that. We want to represent that, and we want that on our brand. That's like a attaboy, good job kind of thing. I love that. Alright, so with these little booklets, let's get some papers and things to go inside of these. Okay, just a few little scraps of paper, and then one of my little altered index cards. Works really well in these, and all I'm going to do is kind of line them up just like that and go to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew down the middles here, so we'll have some stitching on the outside too. Okay, I'm quite proud of myself. Look, almost directly down the middle of my little spines. Yay! Good job, Melina. Okay, so there's my little notepads, little notebooks, mini notebooks made, and journal card, and some traditional pockets. We got a tag, we got a belly band, we got a secretarial pocket with gussets, and we have library pockets, and maybe a little fussy cut piece every once in a while too. And still have plenty of stuff that I could make ephemera out of. I love using up kits. So I think they used to call it kill a kit. Well, we're just using up kit leftovers in this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you make some kit leftover ephemera sets, yeah, let's call them sets. If you make kit leftover ephemera sets, I want to see them, so use the hashtag MScrapbusters or my name, Melina Pylant, hashtag Melina Pylant, and I will try to find you and leave you some love. Y'all have a great day. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.